Okay, here we are again with another flashcard story reading. What's going to be playing in the background today is the 7 Great Mysteries of Revelation, Complete Biblical Explanations. It is from the channel on YouTube, Biblia del Ditalhada. If anybody's curious about it, just ask in the comments and I'll put it down there for you. I hope you enjoy the reading. I hope it's helpful and informative. I've already prayed over the cards and I will cleanse them with the selenite wand as I go. All right, let's get started.
The book. And from that moment on, the rest of Revelation begins to unfold. Seals, trumpets, judgments follow because this authority was granted to the Lamb. What this mystery reveals is both simple and profound at the same time. The apocalypse is less about the collapse of the world, and more about who guides the destiny of the world. He shows that history is not a random sequence of events. There is a document, a plan, a control, and there is someone who governs the unfolding of that plan.
I split the deck and I got high standards in the reverse.
By the value of what
an
they
escape
have done.
plan
This is the
upright.
first great hidden mystery of the apocalypse. The focus of the vision is not future chaos, but the legitimate authority of those who lead the future. Second mystery. The 7 churches as a spiritual map of the end. As we move through the beginning of Revelation, John is not immediately taken to scenes of global destruction. Before any cosmic event, he receives specific messages intended for 7 real communities in Asia Minor. For many readers, these messages are merely local pastoral guidance or pointed warnings for first-century churches. But within the literary structure of Revelation, they fulfill a much deeper role. They function as a spiritual map that prepares the reader for the rest of the book. This is the second hidden mystery. The messages to the 7 churches are not merely letters. They are the interpretative introduction to Revelation. The content that follows, seals, trumpets, judgments, and visions, only makes complete sense when viewed in the light of these 7 spiritual descriptions. Each of the churches represents a specific condition found among first-century Christians. Perseverance, distraction, complacency, faithfulness, fragility, resistance, and spiritual crisis. But, at the same time, these conditions are presented in such a comprehensive way that they transcend the historical moment. The text describes not only those churches, but recurring types of spiritual communities and, to some extent, the inner states of anyone who attempts to follow the faith throughout the century.
First card off. Somebody's cutoff game is real strong. I mean, like strong arm. So somebody cutting them off left and right, probably. They cutting out what's not meant for them in their lives. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
React to a world in transition. Before presenting the final battle between good and evil, the author shows that there is an inner battle. The constant oscillation between loyalty and apathy, courage and fear, commitment and neutrality. And this is where the second mystery arises. The 7 churches serve as a spiritual diagnosis of humanity before the unfolding of the final events. They present 7 possible stances and show how each one influences.
They're cheating with you, not on you. You're the other man or woman. So if somebody out there, this is basically what this means. Somebody out there, they thinking that somebody's cheating on them. No, they're cheating with you, not on you. That's what's going on.
Exhortation, and finally a promise. This structure creates a literary pattern that prepares the reader.
Hard trying to run away from me,
Revelation will be a book that alternates between revelation, evaluation, and promise from beginning to end. The descriptions of Christ in each letter also serve as a kind of interpretive guide. In one church, he is presented as the one who has the 7 stars. In another, as the one who has the sharp sword. In another, as the one who has eyes like a flame of fire.
We'll go with these Rihanna songs. Like, she be popping, baby.
Serving as visual markers that help the
B better have my
recognize
money.
who is in control.
You know what I'm saying? We know what that song is. 2015 may be a significant year for some of y'all. The part of the song that's written down on here is B better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. B better have my money. Please don't call me on my bluff. Pay me what you owe me. So
it shows how people
somebody, either you owe somebody and they want that money, or somebody owe you and they better give it up because your ancestors or the divine is coming after them and they saying it's time to pay up. It's time to pay up.
With its own strengths, weaknesses, and choices. The second hidden mystery, therefore, is that the apocalypse does not begin by describing the collapse of the world, but the spiritual state of those who live in the world. Before the catastrophe, the book presents an implicit question.
This is the moon.
Each type of person
so in tarot, they have a card. If you don't know about tarot cards, the tarot original deck has a card that is the moon, represents the moon. And that represents intuition, the subconscious, illusion, and fear, tame and wild sides, the known and unknown. Normally when that pops out, that means that something is not seen, or somebody could be trying to hide something, or somebody could be doing some moon work, but it came out in reverse, so it's going to be the opposite of all that. So somebody's not using their intuition, somebody is on the they're basically not going within and stuff according to this card, and they're in fear of some sort.
Representing recurring cycles,
and they're in balance basically. They're not going within to look at all different points of view. Something's probably hidden from them too, or they're hiding something.
One stands out because of the impact it has on the reader's perception. The knight mounted on a greenish horse, associated with death, accompanied by Hades. This is the third hidden mystery of the apocalypse. The fourth horseman does not act alone. He acts under permission. There is a textual detail that often goes unnoticed. When the first seals are opened, each knight receives something. Authority,
oh, where's the other card?
Scales, or permission.
I thought I took this card. I actually have another card somewhere.
Every action is limited.
I don't know where it is. I really don't feel like searching all the way for it. But I redid this card. I did redo this
is not described as an autonomous agent who spreads destruction of his own volition.
I'm going to do a quick search while y'all listen.
Over a fourth of the earth, a specific, defined, and controlled boundary. This detail completely alters the interpretation of the symbol. The image of the greenish horse does not represent uncontrolled chaos. It describes the continuous fragility of human life, which has always coexisted with illnesses, unexpected deaths, social collapses, and crises that remind the reader that the world is unstable. But within this vision, this instability does not operate as an independent force.
Trying to look for the replacement of that card, actually.
Within the unfolding of the plan
thought I took that
was
one
already
out,
sealed in the book. Understanding this point shifts the focus of the narrative. Some readers interpret the horsemen as entities that bring destruction on their own initiative, or as cosmic forces that have escaped any control. But the text doesn't present it that way. It makes it clear that each knight acts after that a seal is broken, meaning their movement depends on something that happens on the throne, not on earth. The mystery here is both simple and profound. The knights are not the protagonists. They are consequences. The fourth horseman, associated with death, does not inaugurate something entirely new in the world, but intensifies what already exists. Vulnerability, mortality, disease, violence, and collapse. The apocalypse is not presenting a new type of threat, but is revealing the spiritual dynamics behind the historical crises that have always marked humanity. It is also essential to observe how Hades accompanies the knight. The text does not say that they are equals or that they have the same level of authority. Hades follows after him, as if representing the natural secondary effect of the night's action. This reinforces the idea that the image is symbolic, explaining real-world processes that the reader is already familiar with. Death is a constant consequence in human history, and burial, or final destiny, accompanies this reality. This third mystery, therefore, lies not in the knight's appearance, but in the manner in which he appears. The text does not describe death as an absolute or sovereign power, but as something that acts within defined limits, within a structure that was already established in the book. Death does not guide the narrative, it merely walks within it. This leads to an important interpretative conclusion. The apocalypse does not present a universe out of control, but an ordered universe even when it seems chaotic. The fourth horseman shows that human suffering, while real, does not act as an independent force. It appears in the text as part of a process that reveals the fragility of the world, not as an entity with its own authority. The hidden mystery lies precisely in this tension between the appearance of chaos and the invisible control that the narrative describes. The horseman of death symbolizes what humanity fears and confronts, but the literary text reinforces that none of this occurs due to a rupture of order, but rather within determined limits, limits that are part of the unfolding of a larger plan. Thus, the third mystery is not about the greenish horse or about the figure of death itself, but about the structure of authority that the text describes.
I go through this last one and don't see it.
The apocalypse reveals not only what happens on earth, but who allows it, who limits it, and who directs each stage of the process. The whole
reading just for the one card.
Fourth mystery: the two witnesses and the logic of representation. Among the most symbolic visions of the apocalypse, few have generated as many interpretations as the figure of the two witnesses. They appear suddenly in the middle of the narrative, act with extraordinary authority, and after a period of impact on the earth, are killed, exposed,
if it pops out somewhere else later on, then
before everyone. The mystery lies not only in who they are, but in essence because the text chooses to present them in this way.
Barrel of crabs upright.
This is the
so somebody's in that type of mentality where they're just like, oh, you know, if I can't get out or I can't win, no one can. You know what I'm saying? You know what that is, where everybody's trying to hold each other down instead of trying to help each other up. The opposite of what they should be doing, which is why everyone is staying stagnant and stuck in one place.
The scene of the witnesses is inserted into a sequence of narrative interruptions that appear throughout the apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm such a determined
These
type of
interruptions do
individual.
not make the action stop. They function as camera cuts, bringing explanatory layers while the main narrative progresses. The two witnesses are part of this type of appeal. When the text introduces them, it doesn't bother to name them. Instead, it offers symbolic descriptions. They are called two olive trees and two lampstands that stand before the Lord. These terms directly refer to a context in the book of Zechariah.
Unicorn.
Where olive trees and
that someone is a unique, majestic, magical type of person. Oh, look at you little unicorns. I like a unicorn now. Everybody likes a pretty unicorn.
The witnesses as olive trees and candlesticks indicates that their primary identity lies not in their individual characteristics, but in their function. They assume a dual role.
Okay, so it came out in the reverse, but
of the message.
For the sake of allowing you to be able to see it,
they represent a confrontation with the oppressive power that dominates the world. This duality is essential to understanding the mystery. Throughout the Bible, prophetic action often appears in the form of double confirmation, as if the authority of the message were reinforced whenever it came accompanied by two witnesses, two voices, two confirmations. It is no coincidence that testimony is a legal and community concept, never an individual one. The book of Revelation uses this structure to present something greater than two historical figures. It reveals a pattern. Prophetic testimony always manifests itself in pairs, representing not only individuals, but the continuity of the message against forces that attempt to silence it. Another significant point is the way the witnesses exercise authority. They perform acts that recall classic episodes from the Old Testament, closing the sky so that it does not rain, turning water into blood, and striking the earth with plagues. These actions echo the accounts of Elijah and Moses, figures who respectively
like I said, it came out
and lawmaking.
In the reverse, but I'm going to hold it up right so you can see it and read it. So this is the Scrooge McDuck card, a miser, which is basically a person who hoards wealth and spends as little money as possible. So basically, you know, tight pocket, stingy, greedy kind of person, but it came out in the reverse. So somebody who was a Scrooge, who was like being like in this type of energy, you know, they were so worried about holding on to financial abundance that they have and trying to save, they're getting into maybe being more of a sharing type of energy, which is good, because if you hold on to something too tight, eventually you're going to end up losing it in a different kind of way, honestly. And then on top of that, you won't be able to get more. A closed hand can't give or receive anything. So this is good that somebody's coming to realization that, you know, even wealth, to me, if I was like rich, it wouldn't really be all that if I couldn't share it with people I love or help others personally. So this is good that somebody's getting out of this type of energy.
But their authority is limited and temporary. The presence of the two witnesses serves as a reminder of this. The fourth mystery, therefore, does not focus on discovering who the two witnesses are in terms of biographical identity.
Okay, so this was like this towards me, so it's closer to being upright than it would be that way. So, Young and the Restless Vibes. We all know that show from either our grandmas or our mothers or whomever, or you might have watched some of it. But the Young and the Restless type of vibes is going on, so backstabbing, cheating, murders of some kind of sort, some type of Young and the Restless vibes is what's popping off right now.
Manifests itself in pairs, with authority, facing resistance, and reappearing even after periods of apparent defeat. Fifth mystery, the dragon and the woman. The fight that doesn't begin on Earth. The chapter in which the image of the dragon pursuing the woman appears is perhaps one of the most symbolic moments in Revelation. The scene completely breaks with the previous sequence and introduces a vision that seems to operate on another layer of reality. The reader ceases to observe earthly events or historical consequences and begins to witness a kind of cosmic drama that precedes, sustains, and explains the visible conflict of the world. This is the fifth hidden mystery. The conflict between the dragon and the woman does not begin on Earth. It is a conflict that Revelation describes as preceding human history itself.
Roadrunner, gone. Mimi. Somebody on the run, somebody trying to jet out, somebody trying to pull a Houdini and disappear. Whatever it is, somebody is gone without a trace. Because, you know, when he go, it's over.
The 12 elements and
you don't see nothing but dust.
At the same time,
he be
a
gone,
red dragon with multiple heads and horns appears. An image that alludes to the accumulation of power, strength, and opposition. The scene, however, is not merely visual. It carries a profound theological and literary structure. The first important point is the position of women. She is not presented as a fragile figure, but as someone embedded in a structure of cosmic authority. Her symbols represent order, continuity, and purpose. The sun, moon, and stars represent regular movements, cycles, and stability. The dragon, on the other hand, represents disruption, instability,
I don't know if I should
attack.
keep that card. I
The
might keep it
persecution
though.
described is
It
not the
popped out
result of
before
a
the
specific
shuffling got done,
political,
but it's
social, or historical
the
event.
Death Tarot.
The
So
text does not point to a
major
human
transformation
kingdom or an
endings
earthly figure.
and new
The
beginnings
scene
are
is
afoot.
situated on a
So I think I'm
cosmological
gonna keep that one because it did
where
just
the
come out
woman
and it's all by
represents the
itself.
chosen
So,
lineage,
but
and
it's the
the
Death
dragon,
Tarot card, and
the
that,
force
like
that
I
has
said,
always sought
represents
to interrupt that
upheavals,
lineage.
changings,
It's as
deaths.
if
You
the
know, it could be
apocalypse
literal,
reveals that
or it
what
could just mean the
manifests in
endings
human
to something
history
that's been
is
going
merely
on.
the surface of a much older conflict.
And with one
This is the
ending
central
always
mystery.
comes new beginnings.
The
Never
book of
forget that.
Revelation
And in order
presents
for
the
something to
narrative of the
begin,
dragon
something
and
first
the
must
woman
end.
as the backdrop to the entire biblical story. The text is saying that spiritual conflict does not begin with end-time events, but runs throughout the entire development of humanity. Another significant point is the way the dragon tries to prevent the birth of the child the woman is about to give birth to. This child is described as someone destined to rule with authority. Again, the text does not name directly, but uses language that refers to psalms, prophecies, and messianic figures. The dragon acts as an agent of interruption, the woman as a bearer of continuity. When the child is snatched away to safety, and the woman flees into the desert, the reader observes a literary structure already familiar in Revelation, the alternation between threat and preservation.
Okay.
There's
an overly emotional person, somebody who is dramatic in a situation. They probably doing it all for sympathy or some type of attention. 9 times out of 10.
The spiritual conflict that appears
The
in
next
the
card
events of
says
Revelation
3
is a
switching
continuation
bitches,
of an
team of
antagonism
whores.
that
Okay,
spans generations,
so it's in
represented by
reverse.
the
So
tension between
maybe that
preservation
team, them
and
3
opposition.
females that were trying to work against you
The
or work
desert,
against
where the woman is
someone close
protected,
to you,
does not
or trying to
represent
stop something that you got going on,
but
or
preparation.
you might have had 3 girls
It has
trying
already
to
played
trap.
this role in
If
other
it's a male
biblical
trying to trap you, or
a place of
if you're a
refuge,
female, they could have been trying to come
transition,
against you to
and
prevent you from
reorganization. The dragon,
looking good or
frustrated
doing
at
your
having its
thing, your
purpose
thug
thwarted,
thizzle, you know what I'm saying? They could have been
redirects
stopping you.
its fury,
That's all done.
something
They're
the
breaking
text
up.
returns to later,
Ain't no more 3 switching
showing
bitches.
that
They ain't
the
too
threat
cute no
shifts,
more.
but
Okay?
does not
That's
disappear.
done ditto.
This 5th mystery reveals that, for the apocalypse, human history cannot be interpreted in isolation. Visible conflicts, wars, crises, instabilities, are presented as secondary layers of a prior tension, which the text traces back to a spiritual reality predating time. The figure of the woman is not merely a character, she represents the continuity of the promise, while the dragon represents the constant attempt to interrupt that continuity. The scene is less about individual characters and more about symbolic structures that explain the background of the rest of the apocalypse. The hidden mystery here is the change in
You gotta excuse me, I keep stopping because I don't know where this cut on my finger on my thumb came from, but it is burning.
That there is a broader narrative shaping everything that will come after.
Wants to come back and fix what they broke. So somebody wants to come back into your life and fix what they broke. Honestly, you know, that's up to you, whether you want to give somebody a second chance. I guess it depends on how severe what they did was to you or how you felt about it. Some people are done with it. Some people may want, you know, somebody to come back and they might want to try something again. This generally refers to relationships, or it could be a family member. But somebody wants to come back into your life and fix what they broken. So something they caused and they know it, and they want to try to make amends in some type of way.
The so-called mark associated with the figure of the beast. The theme spans generations, sparking modern hypotheses, theories, and speculations. But upon closer examination of the literary text, the mystery lies not in the shape of the mark, the number, or the physical gesture. The mystery lies in function, the role that the brand...
They're talking about the mark of the beast right now.
They had a daughter.
Doppelganger. Somebody has a doppelganger. You have a doppelganger. Somebody just trying to be you. Unrelated, so not a relative, probably. Look-alike imposter. They are trying their best to copy you. They want to dress like you. They want to look like you. They want to be you. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody in your energy that is trying to. They might want to take over your life, but they're doing their best to copy what you look like and how you act.
At this point, you're probably not avoiding therapy because of stigma. You're probably avoiding therapy because you've become very...
Plays within the framework of the apocalypse.
That might have been key too.
Is this.
Somebody might need some therapy or need to go talk to somebody about something. If you're avoiding therapy, I know a lot of us grew up in places that, you know, didn't just really consider therapy something that they would, you know, go and do actively. Look at that just popping on out.
This distinction is not built on material criteria.
I'll use this in a second, but somebody probably needs to go talk to somebody about something, a trusted confidant, a friend, or something. If you don't want to go see a therapist, or if you do feel comfortable with a therapist, go check out a therapist. It's something that you might be holding on to that you might need to get off your chest. How many cards is this? Like 3 cards. Okay, so the first card says children are not safe around them, but it's in the reverse. So I'm thinking that somebody is hiding this fact that children really aren't safe around them. So you might want to watch your kids, who you leave your kids. Well, you should always do that, irregardless. I'm very, very, very picky about who my children stay with, honestly. I don't care if it's family or not. I'm very finicky and I don't leave them too long. But somebody is hiding the fact that children are not safe around them. It could be like somebody who should have been a registered offender who isn't. You know, it could be somebody who secretly harms children, or somebody who has ill will towards you. And if that's the case, you shouldn't have your kids around them anyways. If somebody doesn't like you, why would you want your children around them? I don't trust that. So watch your kids a little carefully at the current moment, you know. The next card is abortions. Abortion or abortions. Somebody is having an abortion, thinking about getting an abortion, or has already had an abortion.
Just as the divine seals represent protection.
The last card on that drop was Hakuna Matata. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem free.
The relationship with
philosophy
does not appear as an instrument.
I love that little movie. Might watch that tomorrow.
But as a mechanism of social exclusion. The text
police station. Something's popping off at a police station. Somebody might be at a police station that you know, or somebody might be heading their way to a police station. Or it could be somebody that work at a police station, but I'm really feeling more like somebody's on their way to a police station. Somebody in them clink cups, you know what I'm saying? Not the fun ones either.
But within the literary context of Revelation, the number functions as a symbol of imperfection or incompleteness. Something that attempts to imitate authority, but never achieves fullness. The brand, therefore,
okay, so it came out in the reverse, but what it says is the miser technique, and that means to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances, out of the mind and into the gut. Basically what that means is, it's kind of like along the lines of fake it till you make it, but this was used in acting, where people would need to basically, whatever they were acting or the scene that they were portraying, they were suggested to do it honestly and truthfully as if it was actually happening, even though it was imaginary. And they were meant to just follow their gut, you know, follow what they feel instead of following their mind or the lines that was on the paper. So it came out in reverse. So what I'm thinking is somebody's not following their gut. Somebody is too much into their head on things, and they're not living truthfully. They're more into the imaginary or going off of a script or what they feel people would rather them be like than what they feel like they should.
The battle for loyalty. The entire text of Revelation is organized around this contrast. Those who belong to the Lamb and those who belong to the beast. And the mark is the ultimate literary symbol of this belonging. Thus, the hidden mystery lies not in the shape of the mark, but in what it represents within the narrative structure. A choice of identity, reinforced by a system that rewards conformity and penalizes divergence. This sixth mystery redefines
This
what
one
is
says
understood
Star
about the
Boy.
mark in Revelation.
I'm a motherfucking star boy.
Not
So
as
that's a
an
young,
isolated
stylish,
code,
successful
but as an
man,
expression of
usually
loyalty
a
and
celebrity or a
participation
well-known
in a system
person
that
who
opposes
enjoys
the central
fame,
values of the
luxury,
book.
and many women. So that's pretty
Seventh
self-explanatory.
mystery.
This card
The
is in
millennium
reverse, so it
and the
says
last
possessive
closed
of
door.
people. You
The
belong to
apocalypse
me
moves
looking
toward its
type of person, you know what I'm
conclusion
saying? But
with
it's in
a series of
reverse.
scenes
So
that
somebody
alternate
wants to
between
be
ending
possessive
and
over you,
beginning.
but they're not
Among
at the
these,
current
the
moment. So
so-called
that's good.
millennium
Don't never give
occupies a
somebody that
central
much power where they
position,
feel like they have
not only
control over
because of its
everything you do
symbolic
and say or
duration,
how you act or
but
where you
because
go.
it
That's not
functions
cool.
as a narrative
You know what I'm
interval
saying? People
that
shouldn't be, people
reorganizes the
aren't
logic of the
items
book.
or
More
things to
than a
hold.
chronological
As far as
period,
men and
the
women go,
millennium
or
is
if you
presented
into
as a
women and women or
transition
men and men,
phase,
however you want to do it,
delimited,
it
observed,
should be
and
equal. You
controlled.
should be in search for your
This
other
is the seventh
half.
hidden mystery.
Put it in the
The
mindset
millennium
of
is
one
not
soul
the
being
end
split
of
into two,
history.
and you're trying
It
to
is
find
the
the other half of your
preparation
soul to
for the
become
final
wholeness,
decision
one,
on the
that
fate
type of
of
thing.
evil. The
So
text describes
watch
how,
out who you're
after a
talking to or
sequence of
dating.
large-scale events,
This one's
the dragon
self-explanatory.
is
Car
temporarily
accident.
imprisoned.
There's going to be a car
This
accident or somebody is
imprisonment is neither
in a
accidental
car
nor
accident
permanent.
currently.
It is a specific period, with a defined beginning and end, whose function is to create a pause in the deceptive activity of evil. This pause offers a stark contrast. What happens when the influence of evil is removed from the scene? The book of Revelation uses the millennium to answer this question. During this period, the narrative focuses on the idea of restoration and order. Thrones are established, authority is delegated, and a just form of government emerges.
When I split the
In
deck,
the
we
text,
have
this phase
HIV and
functions as a
AIDS in
kind
the
of
reverse
counterpoint to
and
the previous systems
overdose
dominated
death,
by
but it's in
oppression
reverse, so that
and
means
corruption.
somebody's trying to get you
But
to
the crucial
overdose.
and often overlooked point
So this is
is
probably
that
that
the
somebody's
millennium
hiding that they
does
have
not
HIV or
eliminate
AIDS.
evil.
I know
It simply
yesterday's
restricts its
reading came
reach.
out.
This
Somebody's going
temporary
around spreading it,
restriction
so
sets the stage for
that kind
something
of tracks
bigger.
with what happened, what was
The
going on
ultimate
yesterday in the
assessment of the
reading.
nature of evil and its persistence. Here's the heart of the mystery. The millennium is presented as a literary demonstration that even after a period of order and justice, moral decisions still need to be made. Therefore, at the end of this period, the text describes the release of the dragon, not because its strength is needed or because chaos needs to return, but because this release is the final stage of the evaluation process. This temporary liberation has two important literary effects. First, it creates a final separation between what is merely external stability and what is internal conviction. Secondly, it exposes
Split
the
the
true
deck again.
nature of
Kissing
evil,
cousins,
which
incest.
immediately returns to action as soon
And
as the
24 to
restriction
72
is
hours,
removed.
something is not going to
The
happen within
apocalypse
24 to
shows,
72 hours,
therefore,
so
that evil
it's
is
not
not
in
merely
the
the
present
result
or
of
a near future, but
circumstances.
maybe
Its
the
behavior
distant
remains
future,
consistent
if you're waiting
even
on
after
something or
periods of
expecting
order.
something.
This stage leads to the final judgment, but not as a sudden or arbitrary moment.
Or something
The
that,
judgment emerges
was only
as a
supposed to be
logical
for that
conclusion
bit
to
of
the
time,
narrative
maybe
sequence.
longer.
The text demonstrated the impact of evil throughout human history.
So, like, it did come out
It
police
showed its
station,
opposing
so
nature
maybe
on a
somebody was thinking they
spiritual
was only
plane.
going to be in there for like a
It
weekend
limited
type
its
of thing,
action
because it
during
is
the
almost the
millennium,
weekend.
and it revealed its
You might be in there a little
intentions after
longer.
liberation.
Mm.
The sentence
And I think
that
the game
follows
is this
not presented
weekend
as
too.
an unexpected intervention, but as a natural step in a complete evaluation. The millennium, therefore,
It says,
is not the
want you to
climax of
stop
the
talking or
apocalypse,
revealing information.
but
It came out in
the final
reverse.
preparation.
So to me, that feels
It
like, hey,
functions as an
somebody wants you to
intermediary
stop
gateway
talking or
between
revealing
historical events
the
and
truth
the
about them,
definitive state.
true information
The
about them,
dragon
but you're
is
not. That's
released,
good.
acts,
The
and
truth
is finally
always needs to
defeated
be first out,
irreversibly.
in my opinion.
Then
Because if
occurs
not,
what the
hey,
text calls
if you try to
a
wait
new
until
heaven and a new
the
earth,
universe try to get a
a
hold of the
stage
truth
from
and try to
which there
reveal,
is
it's
no
going to be a lot
return
worse
or
than
restart.
you trying to do it. What was that
The
card?
seventh
Is that
mystery
the little...
reveals, then,
I'm
that
not
the
going to
millennium
pull
is
it out.
less about chronology
I'm just
and more
curious what
about
it
narrative
was.
structure.
If it was
He
the crab in the
demonstrates
barrels
that
I was
evil
looking
is
for,
not
no.
eliminated simply by imposing external order. This shows that even under controlled circumstances, a tension remains that needs to be resolved definitively. This shows that the apocalypse builds its argument in layers.
Grand larceny,
confrontation,
high value theft of personal
limitation,
property.
final
Police station
test,
came out.
and conclusion.
Car accident came
Thus,
out.
The millennium
Hell, it
is the
could be that
last
somebody
story
got
before the
caught
final
for
outcome.
grand larceny and
A
tried to
space
go on
that
a
allows the
go on a
text to
run
show,
and got into
for
some
the
type of
last
car
time,
accident and they're hitting
the
their ass to
difference
the police
between
station.
temporary
That's
order and
could be that's
definitive
what I'm getting.
transformation.
It could be
Only
separate, but
after this
it's
stage
probably
does the
related.
apocalypse present its final scene, where evil is no longer restricted or tolerated, but
And look what then
extinguished.
came out.
And the narrative moves
Came out
from
like
history
that. I
to
don't
the
know.
permanent state. The seventh mystery,
I'm gonna take it up
is
this
understanding
way.
the function of the millennium
24 to
as an
72
element
hours.
of
Something is
transition,
occurring in 24 to
testing,
72
and
hours, or
literary
something
preparation
will
for the
take
complete
24 to 72
closure of
hours.
the
Something
conflict
significant
that
about the
began
next
long
few days
before
coming
the
up.
final
So going into
events.
the weekend. This
By
says you
bringing
have some
together
old,
these seven mysteries,
dang,
the
some old
apocalypse
ass bullies
ceases to be
basically.
merely a book about
So
the
they
end
30 plus years
and
old,
reveals itself
still trying to be
as
some
the
bullies.
construction
Too old
of
for
a
that.
purpose.
Grow up.
Every vision,
Come on now, grow up.
every symbol, and every
Or
conflict
somebody got
points in
some
the
bullies
same
that's old as
direction.
hell. Some
The
overgrown
path that leads to the
adults who
kingdom
know
of
better
Christ.
at this
It's
point.
not just the story ending, it's the story arriving where it was always destined to arrive.
All right, it came this way.
The apocalypse doesn't describe
So
chaos,
somebody is
it
timeline
describes
jumping.
completion. It doesn't show a world
Congratulations.
crumbling,
Congratulations
but a
on your
world being
timeline jump.
prepared
Or
for the
somebody is
final
heading
rule
to a
of the
timeline
victor.
jump.
And when
That's
these
good.
mysteries
You know what I'm
align,
saying? If
we
you don't
see the
like your
text
reality that
as
you
it
got going on,
truly
then make the
is.
appropriate
A
steps that you need
narrative
to
that spans
change it and
ages
shift.
and
You
converges
can
on
do
a
it. You
single
really
point.
can. Believe it or not.
The definitive establishment
Okay, so
of
this one
Christ's
came out in
kingdom.
reverse, but what it is, a heroic sacrifice.
video
The
has helped you see
sacrificing
the
of
apocalypse
yourself
more
or the
clearly
thing
and
you love
deeply,
the most for the greater
don't
good.
stop here.
So it's in
This
reverse. So
channel
somebody
is a
is not
space for
doing a
those who
heroic
want to
sacrifice. They're
understand the
not
Bible in a
sacrificing for the
serious,
greater good.
visual,
They
and
might be
complete
on the
way,
stingy side. You know what I'm saying?
without superficiality and without shortcuts. So subscribe and turn on notifications to follow the next chapters of this Bible study series. Here, every story, every prophecy, and every mystery comes to life before your eyes. And I'll see you in the next video to continue exploring everything the Bible still has to reveal.
Life moves fast, but when that phrase hits, you can't help but slow down.
I was trying to stop it before it hit the
This
dang
is the good
commercial.
stuff.
So the next one that's finna go on that I'm pulling towards putting on that's drawing me is you are not who you think. Chosen one. You have zero clue who you truly are in something. But it's by the channel called Spirit Guide. So we're gonna put that on and check that
Listen
out.
carefully. What I'm about to share is not for everyone. This message is urgent, sacred, and intentional. If you do not walk the divine path of God, if you are not seeking truth, obedience, and spiritual alignment,
Bounce check.
then this is not
That
for
goes
you.
hand with that grand
Scroll
larceny,
away.
probably.
But if you
High
are a
value
true
theft of
follower
personal
of
property.
God,
Somebody might have
if
stole
your
somebody's
spirit
funds or
has been
some sort.
restless,
And they
searching,
tried to write a
questioning,
check or
and
something, but
yearning
that
for
check didn't
clarity,
bounce, baby.
then understand
Might
this
come out in
deeply.
the next 24 to 72
This
hours.
message reached you at the exact moment heaven intended. Nothing is accidental here. God's chosen ones are being gathered, awakened, and reminded. And today, you are being reminded of something powerful. You have absolutely no clue who you truly are in the spirit
Didn't
world.
come out.
You don't remember who you returned as. You don't see the full picture, but they do. The spiritual realm knows you. Your presence is recognized. Your
Older,
spirit
but
carries
only
history.
by age, not
And
in
that
the mind.
truth,
So
when it
basically,
settles
somebody is
into your heart,
immature.
will change how
They're
you see
immature.
your life,
Somebody is
your
not,
struggles,
you know what I'm
and
saying,
your
doing what
purpose
they need to
forever.
be doing.
Stay
As
with me
in,
until the end.
they're probably not
Because
even
what you're
emotionally
about to
mature
hear
at
is not
all.
meant
That's
to
probably what
scare
it
you.
is.
It's
But
meant
it's
to
only
heal you,
so
steady
somebody's
you,
older by
and
age,
finally bring
basically.
peace to
But their
questions
mind
you've
is still that of
carried
a,
silently for years.
could be a young
Before we
adult,
continue,
way under their
chosen
age,
one,
a
take a moment to
child.
like this video.
Either way,
Subscribe
that's
to the
not
channel
good.
if
You know what I'm saying?
haven't
You should
already.
always strive
Tap
to
the bell icon
learn more.
and share
And when
this
you learn
message
more,
with
you
other
know
chosen
more. So
ones
when
who
you know
need
better,
this
you do better.
confirmation. And comment 777 below to declare that you are aligned, protected, and ready to receive what God is revealing now.
Ooh, divine intervention is on your side, baby. Divine intervention. on your
veil
side.
over your true spiritual identity.
This one is Sticky Web. We all know who he is from the Proud Family. Ooh, childhood memories. It says it's a tech-savvy person who can even hack. So somebody that could go along with the bounce checks that came out, or the grand larceny. You know what I'm saying? Could be why the police station card came out, but somebody is very tech savvy and they are even able and capable of hacking devices or hacking into your information. Again, that could be that grand larceny.
That quietly drain your peace. Let me speak plainly. If you remembered everything about who you truly are in the spirit world, this human life would become unbearable. You would not be able to function properly. You would struggle.
Sideways is more leaning towards this way for me. A DUI could be what caused the car accident. Could be why somebody's in the police station again, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be something that's happening over this weekend. It is a lot going on, the game going on. Of course, people are going to be drinking, so just be mindful. If you're drinking and you're not, don't drive. Just don't drink and drive. Just don't. Sit down or wait till you get home, or be somewhere that you can spend the night. But somebody is going to get a DUI, or somebody has received a DUI recently.
Your spirit did not come here empty. Your spirit came here full of experience, full of authority, full of understanding. But your mind had to be shielded, because the mind is fragile.
Okay, so this says Ophiuchus, which is a 13 zodiac sign. If you know, then you know. It's the serpent bearer. It was between the dates of November 29th and December 17th. They represent kind of healing, magic, medicine. But it also is the serpent bearer, you know what I'm saying? So that could be like a snake. I know yesterday, I think it said snakes in the grass, or the day before. So it could be something going on with a snake, but somebody who, if we were still in that 13-month calendar, then they will be born between these dates, and they will be the Ophiuchus sign. So if you know somebody around this, they could be important, dealing with some of this stuff going on. It did come out behind the DUI, so maybe somebody born between those dates will get a DUI.
Is humility. Stability is obedience
get a drink of
when
water.
no one is watching. Stability is learning to live with questions without becoming bitter. Many chosen ones suffer because they try to remember before they're ready to carry the weight of remembrance. They want clarity without preparation, but clarity without grounding leads to pride, fear, or spiritual burnout.
This is the Freemason card
That is
came
why
out,
your
so
life
somebody is a
unfolded
Freemason
slowly
in this
certain
situation.
areas. That is why doors
Could be somebody that
close
works
without
at a police
explanation.
station, or
That is
somebody
why
who's
relationships
getting into
fell
a car.
apart
Could be
without
somebody
closure.
dealing with grand
God was
larceny. It could be a
keeping
star
you
boy
human
who's a
enough to stay
Freemason,
teachable.
but somebody
The veil
dealing with
also
something on this board
exists
currently
because
is
this
a
world is hostile to
Freemason.
spiritual truth. People would either misuse what you carry or attempt to destroy it. So God hides his greatest assets in plain sight. Ordinary backgrounds.
It says feed or
ordinary
give your
struggles,
spirit team
ordinary
ancestors
lives.
a gift.
But
So you can give them a
extraordinary
gift.
spirits.
You know, if you know who they
This is
are and you
why
know what
your
they
life
like,
may
give them
not look
stuff,
impressive on the
things.
outside,
Ooh, I'm
yet
stuttering.
feels intense on the inside. You feel
Give them
everything
something that they
deeply.
like, or
You
something that
notice
they
what
enjoyed
others
when they were
ignore.
here.
You carry
And if you
emotional
don't,
weight that
then
isn't
my
always
go-to thing
yours.
is, because I
And
do
you
love
often
to
wonder
cook,
why life
I
feels
feed
heavier for you
mine.
than for
I feed them
others.
quite
It's
often.
because you are not here to float through life.
And
You
I
are
do
here
notice
to
that some of them
anchor
do like,
something.
you know what I'm
Another
saying,
reason for the
lighter
veil
foods. Not
is
saying like
mercy.
light meals type of thing, but like
Mercy.
fruits
If you fully
and
remember
vegetables
who
and
you
things of
were,
that
you
nature are
will
always a
also
good thing to
remember
give them
who
if
you
you
were
have
not
that. You know what I'm
allowed
saying?
to
Put out
see.
some type of an
You would
offering
remember
for them
losses that would
if you
crush
do
your
that
heart.
type of thing.
You would
And if you
remember
don't, maybe you should look into
responsibilities that
doing
would
it, you
overwhelm
know,
your nervous
especially if you've
system.
been getting
So God gives you
assistance from the
amnesia
divine or
with
from the
grace.
unknown, like
He lets
random
your
help
spirit
or
remember
random
in
gifts from
fragments,
here and there, you know what I'm
in
saying?
feelings,
You
in
might have had like a
intuition,
bill that was due,
in
you had
quiet
enough way
knowing,
of figuring
not in
out how to
full
pay that bill,
images
and all
or
of a sudden the way
titles,
came up. It
because
could
this
be your
life is
ancestors
about
helping
faith,
you out.
not memory.
You never know.
This is why chosen ones often feel disconnected from labels. You don't fit neatly into boxes. You don't fully resonate with the systems of the world. You respect order, but
See
you
what I'm
don't
saying?
worship structure.
See what I'm saying?
You value
You
truth
see what
more
I'm
than
saying?
comfort.
Earlier
And
it
that
came
makes
out,
life
children are
confusing
not safe
sometimes.
around them, okay? But
You
it came
ask
out in
yourself
reverse, so somebody's
questions like,
hiding. They know
why
children
do
aren't
I
safe
feel
around them, but
older
they're
than
hiding
my
it from other
age?
people. And look
Why do
what
I
just
crave
popped this
meaning
little
more than
ugly head
attention?
out.
Why does
Molestation.
shallow
You know what I'm
conversation
saying?
exhaust me?
Nobody, this is an
Why do I
uncomfortable thing
feel
to talk about.
responsible even when
And
I
then we
didn't
had that other
ask to
card,
be?
older, but
Those
only by
questions
age.
come from the
So
veil,
it could be
not
not in the
the
mind.
midst
So
of
it could be
awareness.
somebody who's older,
But hear me carefully
who's,
now. The
doing some
veil
things they ain't
does
got no
not
business
mean
doing.
you
Somebody
are
needs to smack them
blocked.
left and right.
It means
Anywho,
you are guided.
then
Your
this other
spirit
one right
knows
above it
exactly what
says you
to
have
do,
some old
even
ass
when your
bullies,
mind
30 years
doubts.
plus, that go with
That is
that.
why you
That
survive things that should have
just
broken
watch it,
you.
watch the
That is why
kids.
you
Not
recover
even just
faster
your
than you
kids, okay?
expect.
Don't be
That
that
is
kind of
why you
adult that
sense
only watches
danger
out for your own
before it
children.
arrives.
I
That
watch
is
out for
why
all
you feel
kids. I
pulled
don't care
away
whose
from
kids it
certain
is. I'm
people
watching out for
without
all kids,
logical
especially if they're at
reasons.
my house.
Your spirit is not
I
asleep.
don't play that
It is
at all.
disciplined.
So no.
The problem comes when chosen ones interpret the veil
Okay,
as
so
rejection. They think would be told nothing at all.
Quantum Code came out.
Silence is not
This is
absence.
one for guilt and or
Silence
shame,
is
which could
training.
go.
Even
Hey,
Jesus
if
lived
somebody's
under
been doing this, if
limitation
you
while
have
on
been doing
earth.
this
He did
yourself,
not
you're
operate
watching
in
this
full
video, you've been
glory
doing
at
this,
all times.
you might need to do
He
this. You
submitted
might
to
need to
process.
atone and
He
repent. You know what I'm
submitted to
saying?
time.
For
And
the
he
guilt and
trusted the
shame that you're
Father
carrying,
completely.
because you should be
So
carrying
when
some
you
guilt
feel
and
like you're
shame.
walking
But
in
if you're
partial
not, if that doesn't have
understanding,
nothing to do with
remember
you, that
this.
last card, then
God
just
is not
period.
withholding
If
from
you
you.
feel guilty
He is
about something or
protecting
shame
what is
about
sacred
something, this
within
quantum
you.
code can help
The
to
veil
release
will
that.
lift
You can
gradually,
say it, write
not all
it
at once.
on you.
And when it
You know what I'm
does, it will not
saying?
feel dramatic or
That might be
overwhelming.
why
It
somebody
will
needs
feel
to.
familiar, like remembering
What was
something
that?
you always
Where's that
knew
card
but
at? Is
didn't
it up
have
top?
words for. Until then, your
Do,
job is
do,
not to
do,
force
do,
revelation.
do,
Your
do.
job is to stay grounded, to stay humble, to stay faithful,
Where's
to
that
stay
card
kind
at?
in a world
Oh,
that
that wasn't a
rewards
card. That was
cruelty.
a
Because
commercial
the
that came
ones
on.
who are
See?
truly
That's
chosen
probably why that
are not
commercial came on, talking
identified
about
by
somebody
what they
needs to go
remember. They are
seek like a
identified by
therapist or
how they
therapy, or
live
go seek
while
someone
they
they can
don't.
talk to.
And you,
Hey,
chosen one, are
use
doing
that and
better
go
than
do
you
that.
think.
This one
And there is
says
something else
want
you must
/ trying to
understand,
make you
chosen one.
lose your job.
The
So
veil
if
is
y'all
not only
got some
spiritual,
hateful
it is
co-workers at
emotional,
work, just
it
watch
is
out for them. You know what I'm
psychological,
saying? That could be
it is
dealing with
woven
the
into your
whole thing
experiences,
about
your
the next
upbringing,
24 to
your
72 hours. It could be
disappointments,
somebody,
and
or it
even
could
your
be the
unanswered
bully.
prayers.
Somebody
God
bullying
did
you
not
at work,
just
you know what I'm
hide your
saying? And we
identity from
all
the
know
world, He
nobody
hid it
wants to be
from
like, oh
your own
yeah,
ego.
I get bullied.
Because
I
ego
understand
is
that. But in
impatient.
reality,
Ego wants
there's
titles
some
before
adults who are
character.
stuck in them stupid
Ego wants
ways, like
power
they're still
before
in
wisdom.
high school and middle
Ego
school,
wants
stupid
answers before
little ass
obedience.
cliques.
And
You
God
know what I'm
does not
saying?
entrust
And they
eternal
bully
things
people,
to
and that's just
unstable
sad.
hands.
That's really
That is
something that
why
they
your
need to
journey has
go
been
seek a
public.
therapist
That
for
is why you've had
themselves. You know what I'm
moments where you
saying?
felt
Because there's
small,
something missing or
overlooked,
wrong, or
or
something
underestimated.
holding them back,
Not to
or
shame you,
they
but to
got guilt
soften
and
you,
shame in some
to
type of
teach
shape,
you
way, or
how to
form
listen,
that they need to
to teach
release,
you
so they won't be
respect,
taking it out
to
on other
teach you
people.
compassion for people who don't understand
They
you.
say hurt people,
Many
but
chosen
you know what I'm
ones
saying?
struggle with this phase
Hey,
because it feels
mainly
unfair.
that's true, but
You
don't
know
be that
you
kind of
carry
person.
more.
You don't have to
You
be that
feel
kind
it.
of person.
Yet life keeps placing
I'm
you in
not. I'm hurt.
positions that
You know what I'm
seem
saying?
beneath your
Everybody
capacity.
gets hurt. Everybody
That
goes
is
through
not
things, but
demotion.
that don't mean you take it
That
out
is
on somebody
refinement.
else. This one
Gold
says the
is not
crossword.
refined in
So we know that
comfort.
song by
It
Bone
is
Thugs and
refined
Harmony.
in fire.
Meet me at the
And
crossword
fire
so
does
you
not
don't be
announce itself as
lonely.
preparation.
You know what I'm saying?
It
So
feels like loss. It feels
that's a
like
sad
delay.
song. That
It
usually
feels like
represents like somebody's
confusion.
death. And the
But the
death
veil
card, tarot
also
card came
serves
out
another
earlier up
sacred
there.
purpose.
So
It
maybe
allows
somebody's
you to live
passing.
by
Maybe
faith,
the car
not by
accident is more
certainty.
serious than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or
Faith
maybe somebody's at the
builds
police
trust.
station because they
Trust
caused the death.
builds
Or the
alignment.
DUI could cause a death
And
with the car
alignment is
accident.
what activates divine
Just,
timing.
watch out.
If
Love your
God
love
revealed
people.
everything
Love
too
your people
early,
that you love
you would
now.
rely
Don't
on
wait
memory
until it's too
instead
late
of
to try to love
relationship.
on them.
You would lean on
All
what
right,
you
we're down
were
to our
instead of
last
what he
row,
is.
as you
And
can
chosen ones are not
see.
sent to glorify themselves. They are sent to reflect God. So when your mind questions and your heart aches,
So we're going to go
do
ahead
not
and get these
panic.
last 4
Do not
cards out, and
rush.
then we're going to close
Do
it
not
up.
compare your journey to anyone else's. Comparison is the quickest way to dishonor your assignment. Instead,
This
anchor
did come out
yourself
in
in this
reverse, so it
truth.
says
What is
refuse
hidden
to let
is
you
not
go.
lost.
So somebody
What is
who refused to
delayed is
let you
not
go, maybe
denied.
they're coming to
What
their
is
senses
veiled is
knowing
not
that,
forgotten.
at the
God
first
knows
card, cut off
exactly
game
who you
strong.
are.
So you might have cut
Heaven
somebody
knows
out
exactly
and
who
they was
you are.
refusing to let you
And
go.
when the
Maybe they're
time is
starting to
right,
come
you
to
will
see
know
that you were
too.
serious about
Until
that. You know
then,
what I'm saying?
peace is
Whatever
your
they did, just
protection,
like you said,
and
wants to come in
is your
and
power.
fix
Will
what they
you work
broke,
before you get
maybe
there?
you're done with, you know
Now
what I'm saying?
listen
You got that
closely.
right to be.
Chosen
People
one.
shouldn't have
This
to
is where
keep
many
going through
people
things for
become
people to
either
get their stuff
anxious
together.
or overly
So
imaginative.
somebody's
So I
starting
want
to
to
realize that
ground
they
you
have to let you
firmly in
go.
truth.
You know what I'm saying?
We are
That
not
they
here
can't
to
hold on to
fantasize.
something.
We
You
are here
know
to
what I'm saying? You
understand,
can't,
to
if it's
heal,
broke
and to steady your spirit.
and you can't fix it,
Before you
ain't
came
no
into this
sense in you
world,
trying to
you
keep
were not
on
random.
beating a
You were
dead
not an
horse.
afterthought.
So
You were not sent because God ran out of options.
This says world peace. So maybe, you know what I'm saying?
Shift something inside you.
Maybe people are praying for world peace. Maybe we're going to come into world peace. Maybe you're jumping into a timeline where your world will be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not meaning the actual world itself, but your world in itself. Maybe you're achieving peace in your personal world, which is a beautiful thing. This is upside down. It says cast a wider net. So
your spirit was familiar with order.
It's in reverse though.
With listening.
So what I'm thinking is somebody wanted to cast a wider net or somebody tried to cast a wider net. It did come out with we split the deck that one time and it did show the HIV and stuff.
Not because you are controlling, but because your spirit remembers.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying, somebody cast a wider net and they're realizing that wasn't a good idea, or the cutoff game, you could have cut somebody off for casting a wider net, you know what I'm saying, going or playing games with you, not taking your relationship seriously or whatever it is. And that could be why they wanted to come back and fix what they broke, because they feel bad about it, because they casted a net too wide, you know what I'm saying. So that could be why they were refusing to let you go, because they were feeling guilt and shame.
You can enjoy life, yes,
for what they did against you, you know. So
this is also why
somebody tried to or wanted to cast a wider net, and it wasn't such a good idea. All right, last card. Can we get a last card?
You carried emotional weight that was never assigned to you.
Oh, that's a lovely last card. It is.
That didn't come from trauma alone.
No, it is.
Trauma
came like a card down from world peace. Forgive, okay? Either somebody wants you to forgive them,
another truth you need to hear,
or you need to forgive someone, or somebody's forgiving you. But if it is the latter, you know, and somebody's done something terrible towards you or hurtful, and they want you to forgive them, honestly, forgive them, not for them, but for yourself. Don't hold on to that, because it's going to hold you back in your life. Forgive people for the things that they done against you. Always try to go and lead with a forgiving heart, because we all mess up and we all make mistakes, but we shouldn't be held accountable for our past mistakes, especially if somebody's trying to do better. And it seems like somebody wants to come in and fix something that they broke. So somebody's changing, somebody's trying, somebody feels guilt and shame for what they've done. So now if it's something serious, like you see this came out, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, you can forgive, but you keep far away, you know what I'm saying, because we don't play about the kids at all. So just lead with compassion, lead with a forgiving open heart.
It is knowing when to move and when to wait.
Please do. I'm gonna get this mantra book and I'm going to read
long
random page that I find.
Waiting for clarity, waiting for recognition, waiting for relief.
With this reading,
those seasons were not wasted. They were familiar
flip
territory
through
for
a
your spirit.
random page. I'm going to read it.
This is also why you have such a strong reation to injustice. You may not always express it outwardly, but
so we're going to go, I'm going to read both of the pages. The first one says, optimist, you see opportunities everywhere you turn. Let me pause this so you can hear clearly, because we are
not everyone has that.
Be done after this. Okay? So optimist, you see opportunities everywhere you turn, and you act on them. You know that you can, you should, and you will take action to make a change. Believe in yourself, believe in the future. See the good today and believe in a better tomorrow. Trust your decisions and remember that everything happens for your highest good. Mantra action. Practice being an optimist at every opportunity you get. See the best in people. Oh, there go that forgive. Situations and yourself. The world has so much light to give if only you know how to look for it. Mantra benefit. It's all about perspective. Optimism is a way of life. When you train your brain to see the good, you will see challenges as opportunities and will experience less stress and more bliss in life. That could be that world peace popping out, you know what I'm saying? The other side says, I am blessed. Blessings take many forms and hide themselves in everyday miracles. Know that when you feel blessed, you start seeing all of the little ways in which life works out in your favor. Count your blessings, not your troubles. I am awake. I am alive. I am blessed. Mantra action at the beginning and end of each day. Think of 3 blessings in your life. Make this a daily habit. Mantra benefit. When you count your blessings and find that they are plentiful, your troubles seem much less daunting. That was nice. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and I hope you join me for the next. If this wasn't informative or illuminating or helped you in any kind of way or situations you have going on, I hope it at least was interesting and entertaining. Y'all have a good night. Stay prosperous, stay blessed, stay beautiful. Deuces.